It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. Why, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we are serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our lovely YouTube channel. That way you can see us live and in living color. Just go to YouTube, search for Dishin Days, and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you'll never miss when we're going live. And while you're there, look around, check out past episodes and interviews with some of your favorite Days cast members from Day of Days, the Daytime Emmys, and even right here on our show. So go and check it out now. And if you want to be an exclusive member on our exclusive members only page, you too can join that. Make sure you use your tablet or laptop and go to our YouTube channel and hit the join button. And be sure to join us for our next virtual event where we dive deeper into our favorite soap opera and have a good old discussion about it with us and you. So don't miss out. Also, if you can't watch us live and you are on the go and you got things to do, but you still want to keep up with what happened in Salem this week, make sure you find us on your favorite podcast station. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Just search for Dishin Days and take us along on that long car ride, or while you're dipping your toes in the sand, or maybe even planting a flower in your garden. We'll be there to keep you posted on all things Days of Our Lives. And speaking of your soap opera fix, make sure you head over to JLJ Media on YouTube to get a full dose of your favorite soap operas. Our friend James Lott Jr. has a couple of forks, knives, and spoons of his own over there. Check out a recap of Young and the Restless, General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful. Did I say them all?
Beyond the Gates.
Beyond the Gates. I knew there was one more. Over on JLJ Media on YouTube and where all podcasts can be found. And of course, you can check out some of his original audio dramas as well. So be sure to search JLJ Media on YouTube and on your favorite podcast station. And of course, throughout the show, we want to hear from you. Make sure you comment in our chat room, or if you're watching later, comment below. I promise you, we see the comments, even though we may not reply. It happens. All right. Before we dive deep into this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives, we have a very special guest joining us. Yes. We were first introduced to her in Beyond Salem, and ever since then, she has been gracing our television screens or computer screens with her amazing talents, especially this week as the best-selling author who is now a living work of her own art. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the incredibly talented and gorgeous Miss Abigail Klein, everybody. Yay! Yeah. Oh, wait. There she is. Yay! Welcome to Dishin Days.
Hey, guys.
Again.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a while.
It has been a minute. The last time we chatted with you was at the 60th.
Yeah.
The 60th party.
Right. Whoa. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So a lot has transpired for our favorite PR maven and best-selling author since we last chatted.
Yeah, it's been kind of eventful for her, huh?
It has. Okay, so first of all, kudos to you, because I feel like the show gave you such great meaty material for you to really shine. I mean, you shine all the time, but this week we are like in the trenches with you. So congratulations on that. Like amazing. Like, I feel like we're at the edge of our seat, like wondering what other twists and turns are going to happen with this storyline.
Thank you for saying that. And that's great. Yeah. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I was really stoked to get this kind of material too, because it's so layered, and Stephanie was kidnapped 15 years ago, right? So I'm
Yeah.
basically repeating, what that storyline was, but I've never gotten to play that before, and so it was cool to kind of delve into it myself this time around, for sure.
Now, this was like a revisit of a 15-year ago storyline where you weren't obviously playing Stephanie at that time. When you initially found out about this, did you do like a dive into like, okay, what happened? Who is Owen? Like, did you do a deep dive of your own just to kind of familiarize yourself with that situation?
Yes. So I knew, I didn't find out that it was Owen until, well, I knew during the whole stalking situation that she was going to get kidnapped. I didn't know by who for a long time.
Okay.
But I did look into when she was kidnapped the first time and she was put into the morgue, and I was like, that is so messed up. Oh my God.
It's right.
And then what was really interesting is I actually watched the one of the scenes from Friday's episode where and I might be jumping ahead to your questions of everything, but it was interesting because I remember shooting that scene where I had to pretend like I had a dream about Owen. I remember rehearsing that scene, and then Noel Maxim, our executive producer, came over and he said, okay, so for context, he's like, when she was kidnapped 15 years ago, there was sort of a physical component to it then. He was like, so, it's almost like you are selling the car to someone who's already bought it, but like really sell it. And he's like, and there is this sort of component that we played 15 years ago of Stephanie being like, pretending like she liked the drawer and she liked all of these things. And so right when he said it, I go, oh, I'm like, that is like a deeper psychological layer than I was even thinking about. And then we rolled on camera and we filmed that scene, and I was like, okay, that changed everything. Of how I interacted with Owen, how I was feeling like I was perceived by Jeremy, how I then grappled with what that brought out of me. And that all of that has propelled me even into the storyline that we're shooting today, 10 months later. So like this whole kidnapping story really unlocked a psychology of Stephanie that I didn't know was there. And it has been so freaking fun.
Wow. And it all comes across on screen. So amazing.
Good.
Amazing.
Good.
Yes, really good. Yeah. Abigail, you posted some of the behind the scenes stuff of them getting you ready into the chair and how that was there. I want to know, like that to me looks physically taxing. After a while, did you start to feel like the physical components of it like cramped up and just like exhausted in the moment?
Yes, 100%. And also, because I've never played anything like this before, I sort of didn't know what to expect. And it was challenging because it was almost easier to just stay tied up than to untie and grab my script and untie and grab a sip of water. So the sweet crew members who were working on the props, like they would come over and like pour me water in my mouth. Like, I felt like such a diva, but at the same time, I'm like, guys, it's easier for all of us and faster if I just stay put. But, and it did help in really feeling like I was powerless, right? And it did feed into feeling like I don't have control. And for this character, for Stephanie, that's she holds on so tightly to control in her life, and so when she's stripped of it, it certainly doesn't feel good. And I remember being really exhausted after that first day of shooting it, because that first day was a lot of screaming into the void. It was a lot of crying and struggle, and I remember feeling just like I had done a crazy workout, and then the next day it hit me like kind of emotionally, because your body does hold on to these things.
Yeah.
And to Scott McKinsey, one of our directors, he's like, after that first day, he goes, "Hey, take care of yourself tonight." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, you might feel it in your body later, like it might catch up to you. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm not like method or anything, like I think I'm fine." And he was right, and it was such a good learning lesson for me as an actor of like, oh wow, okay, so there's gonna have to be a way to learn how to step into it, how to like let it go. And so after that first day, I was totally good at totally better, I guess, at compartmentalizing that stuff. But it was totally a really cool challenge.
Yeah.
Nice. Speaking of unlocking like a different version of you, what was it like to play Owen's version of you as you got out of the pod, like that whole scene where he's fantasizing about who you are or who he thinks, or I guess who he wants you to be, or what was that like?
I love that question too, because so we filmed that before I knew that they had this other darker psychological side. So I interpreted that scene as she was his higher conscience, like she was his like deep higher self or deep conscience, like sort of to like make him feel, I don't know, I just sort of interpreted that of like someone that he could never be, you know what I mean? Like he basically almost like, oh, you're just not smart enough, are you? You know, some kind of like dark side of him, like his deepest things that he would maybe feel about himself, or the thing that he could never believe about himself. And so I kind of tried to play into that for those scenes, which was interesting because that was a totally different direction than where we ultimately went. Yeah. But it worked because that was his hallucination, right? Like,
No, it totally worked. It seems like a lot of fans really gravitated toward that portrayal. I don't know what it, maybe because Stephanie is usually so put together and like so in charge, and so to have like that version of her that was kind of like smart, but also like somewhat subservient to him, or like
like what he wants her to be. Yeah. It was cool to play against those words. Yeah. Try to play against it so that it would still read sort of like eerie, you know?
Yes.
Well, while reading the scripts and leading up to the kidnapping and the reveal of Owen, did you, Abigail, have any guesses as to who the stalker was? Like, were you trying to figure out, like, who is this guy? Like, is it Jeremy? Is it going to be Jeremy? Is it going to be someone else? Like, did you have any thoughts as to who it might be before the actual reveal?
You know, I didn't know who. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. I didn't know that popped up on here.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really have a guess. I did for a while think, is it Jeremy? Is it gonna somehow, is that like, are we thinking that it's not, and then suddenly it is, and everyone's like, haha. But then I'm like, no, that's too easy. Like, who could it be? And I didn't have any guesses. But again, I didn't know really about Owen. All that much. And so then when I was told, you know, it's Owen, he's coming back. And it's similar to like an Orpheus character, right? When you know the history of something, but you don't kind of expect it to be that person, and then they come back and you're like, oh, well, brilliant. But I didn't know how he played into it all, and so that was kind of fun to uncover too. But then, you know, meeting Wes Ramsey, who plays Owen, was like so fabulous. He's awesome.
He's amazing.
He's amazing, and he really wanted to get like dark with it, and I welcomed that, because again, I've never done anything like this, and he had done it, but you know, 16 years ago. So it was really cool to work with him.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Well, did y'all have a chance to like talk about his time as Owen, like, at all?
We did, but he couldn't really remember too much about
Yeah.
it.
For a while.
So we didn't really talk about the past as much
Yeah.
as we, just kind of were like, hey, let's just, try things. And of course too, we trusted, the history experts in our producers and directors who had done it already too. And so it was kind of great. It was kind of great to just sort of trust the storyline and the writing. And yeah.
I mean, I can say as someone who was, I can say as someone who was watching back then that I think it was definitely much more elevated than back then. Because back then he was just kind of a hired gun. This was very much, he's been stewing in this for more than a decade.
Right. I think, right. Okay. So it was almost like he had an obsession with her that first time around.
Yeah.
But it was almost like, okay, now it's 15 years of pent up obsession is basically how we were to play it. And so I'm glad that was your takeaway, that it was a little more elevated, because I certainly thought, oh my God, this is really, I know I keep saying this, but just psychologically so dark and not to me a soap opera surface thing at all. And then also just even considering the point of view of Stephanie being in captivity with someone who she doesn't trust anymore in Jeremy. Like all of that was such a cool layer of like this sort of reluctant bond that these two people are forming, someone that she never would have ever expected to be trapped in a room with. She would never want it to be him, right? And then suddenly here he is, and suddenly he came to save her, right? So like that in itself is also twisted of like, wait, but I have kept you at arm's length. I have PTSD from you, but yet you are the only one here. And not only that, you are seeing the monstrous side of me like coming out, and what I'm having to make myself into to try to feed into this Owen delusion stuff. It's like, but you're staying. And so for Stephanie, I'm understanding she has this core fear of abandonment that started when she was a little kid, when she was, kidnapped as a baby, right? And has followed her through her life when her father was dead and all these things. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is really so deep for her. And here is Jeremy, who, they've had this toxic, terrible past. And yet she's like letting him hold her hand. Like the whole, all of it is so, to me, elevated for sure.
I have to say that was such a beautiful moment. It was no word spoken, but the way that you and Michael, who plays Jeremy, kind of had this moment of like looking at each other, and it was almost like Stephanie was saying like I'm so sorry, like and thank you, and him being like, I'm here for you. It was a lot being said just in that small interaction and the holding of the hands that I feel like makes Jeremy a redeemable character, because I think for so long it was everyone being like, it's Jeremy, he's the stalker, it's him. And to the point where we're like, is it him? Like, are you crazy? You just come back and for him to be the one that is there with Stephanie to rescue her and then have that moment, I was like, this is the redeemable moment that is probably needed for the character. But it was so good. Like nothing needed to be said, but everything was said in that moment between you guys. So kudos on that.
That's awesome. And I agree with you. I think so too. I think that there is a space, because I was super, when I was reading it, reluctant to sort of think of it as like, oh, okay, they're trauma bonding. It was not so much that. It was sort of like exactly what you're saying of you can say I'm sorry to someone and forgive them all at the same time, while also still being boundaried and having, there's nothing about their interaction that is romantic, that is even like friendly at this point. It was sort of just like a familiarity and an understanding, and just this, when you're in that survival mode, the dynamics change, where you're just like, okay, we're in this together. And it's sort of just an alliance through survival at that point. But I do think that poor Jeremy really was, he was really going through it with everybody, poor guy. So
he was,
even given their past, and even given, of course I'm like, Stephanie, never get with Jeremy again,
Yeah, no.
But also, like, I see that you can say, hey, I was wrong. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to say, I was wrong. I was wrong about you. And then you kind of, you forgive yourself in that moment too. So I think there's a lot going on in that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Also, piggybacking off of that, like, I was watching those scenes this weekend thinking like, oh, they're coming across, like, I don't know if sweet is the word, but they came across as warm between Stephanie and Jeremy. And I was thinking, like, you two actually have not spent a lot of time together. Like, thinking over this storyline, as long as it's gone on, you had that sort of initial meeting each other and seeing each other and sort of expressing kind of your points of view. And then you two have been so separated from each other, really. And even Jeremy has had scenes with Alex, but not really with you, or the character of Stephanie per se. And I think it's just you two coming together at this point now, and sort of, it's like, it's the past, it's the present, it's the future of how are we going to get out of this together now that we, like you said, like, you're bonded. So I think that had a lot to do with it too, like keeping you two away from each other for so long. I think having this moment now it translates differently than I think if you had been sharing scenes with him the last few months, kind of a thing.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but it really is that convergence of past, present, future, all in one set of circumstances. And I love that too. And it was, I love working with Michael Rourke. He's God, just such an angel. And we had our chemistry read, and we're like, ooh, so excited to work together. Right. And then, like, what a tease, because months go by. So it was actually wonderful to work with him on set. And we work really well together too. And he's just lovely. So all of this was really great to play.
No, and the chemistry definitely comes across, and especially during this time. And I just love the flashback of, like, how did he get there? And I'm like, first of all, that's very stealthy. It's like, I mean, at this point, he should sign up. Forget being a teacher. Go ahead and go to Salem PD, because they need help over there.
They do. Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it was so great. And I mean, there was a moment where we were like, ugh. We hope that they didn't bring the character of Jeremy back in this kind of, like, I've changed, only for him to be the same. So it was quite a roller coaster to, like, see the journey of him being back in town. Now this stalker is coming up. We're still loving Stephanie and Alex together. In this, they got married. It was just like an array of things that were happening for Stephanie. So all played very well. So.
Yes, in the midst of all of this, your character got married.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
It was like a blinking, you missed it, but you got married. I didn't forget, because, and I don't know if, like, it dawned on you when you were filming this, is that for as long a history as Stephanie has had on the show, this is her first and only trip down the aisle.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I did know that. I know she's been engaged before, but this is the first time it's been the real all the way there. She made it.
Yeah.
And she did it,
guys,
actually.
we've come a long way.
Yeah.
We did it. Yeah. No interruptions.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about because I mean, the evolution of the relationship between you and Alex has been quite a journey in itself, from love to hate, back to love, to even more love, to now marriage. How do you feel about that growth of this relationship from the beginning, when Stephanie and Alex first met each other in the square, running into each other with the coffee, to now? Like, how do you feel about that and look back on that relationship?
I think it's sweet. I think it's a fun sort of enemies to lovers tale. But I do feel like this second go around of us coming back together, and it's just way deeper. And I think the scenes that they've written for us, where we've had those real grounded moments, have been really fun to play with Rob. So I love it. I think that he is someone that, he sort of mirrors what she wants to be. She wants to live into her name, Little Sweetness. She wants to be good, pure person. She wants what her parents have. I've said that, so many times, right? She wants that enduring love. And I think that Alex can give her that. And she also wants to be fought for, and she wants to be chosen. And I feel like he has always been someone that has shown up and been there, for her in that way. So I think that they've got a really good, strong foundation forming.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting too, everything that we've filmed, from the kidnapping on, has been sort of, and this isn't like giving anything away, but it's just really interesting to see how that moment in time changes a person, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
How does that change a relationship that's very freshly formed? And how does my character see herself now? And what are the things that she believes about herself now? And where does that conflict with who she was and who Alex always has known her to be, right? Like, there's going to be so much to dissect with all of that. And with all of that going on inside of like this new reckoning of her identity, it's like, how much do I share with Alex? And am I afraid to share these darker, sides that not everybody has seen? And yet Jeremy has seen these dark sides. So it's kind of it'll be an interesting sort of thing of like how she reckons with that. And again, like I said, it's like still going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, it makes sense if anybody goes through anything traumatic, right? Like, you come out, there's a before kidnapping and an after kidnapping. Like, you come out differently, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. On this International Women's Day, as I'm going to mention and celebrate.
I love it.
One of the things that I think about, and kidnappings is one of the many soap tropes as we've gone through the years. But I've seen now with Between Days and between, there was a recent storyline on Beyond the Gates as well, where there's this new social media element to it, where you find that, we as women, there's another layer of danger going on where we have to watch our P's and Q's always, but then it's elevated to social media, and where, we can't even hold ourselves, give ourselves peace in the quiet of our homes and in our careers and the passions that we love. There's no peace there. Does Stephanie come out of this with like a deeper PTSD?
You cut out there for a little bit, but
I'm sorry.
I think I ultimately heard the question of, does she come out of it with a deeper PTSD?
Yeah, where it's just because like there's this, I always think like social media is like it's great if you love it, but then it's like, oh, you have to really watch your P's and Q's when you're putting things out there online.
Oh yes, like there's a real safety issue.
Yes, because there's like a feeling of not even being safe in your own skin in your own home.
Yes, 100%. Yes, she does come out of it with that feeling of not only, and you said not safe in her own skin, it's first, and I keep thinking about psychologically, emotionally, she's not safe in her skin. She wants to rip off her skin because of what she endured in that room. But not only that, when she's coming out of captivity, and Salem is not the same Salem as it was before, right? So walking around the square she's, you know, always hyper aware, I would say. That's maybe what she comes out of it with, is like this sort of just more awake to the dangers around her. And especially after having had this happen twice, like getting chloroformed twice, having a guard outside your door and this still happening, right? Like, so even though she did, you know, mind her P's and Q's and she was all safe and she had these, you know, these things in place to protect her, and she thought she was being really strategic and had a plan, and her dad and Jada, everybody was in on it. What she comes out thinking is, never again is this going to freaking happen to me. And also, I cannot rely on anyone else but myself.
Wow.
And that sometimes is not always, though it might sound like, okay, you know, strong woman, hear me roar. It's like that can also backfire, right? Like we do as people need to ask for help. But she comes out hardened for sure. And sort of like, clocks everybody and thinks like, wow, like, you know, you're just living your life. You're not thinking about your safety. How does that feel to you? You know, and just looking at everybody like, oh man, like you don't know what I've seen, what I've felt, what, you know? So I think there's a feeling of never again, and feeling like a separation from the people that she loves and that she knows love her. But there's a wall. There's a wall up for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned getting chloroformed, and we talked about that scene, and it made me think of when you're reading the script, and when you're and even in actually doing the scene, is there ever a battle between, like, as Abigail, what I would do in this moment versus what I have to do as Stephanie in this moment to sell this whole thing? Because like with the chloroform, we had talked about the scene, and I was like, listen, I would have already been on high alert when someone came in. I would have watched that person the entire time to make sure they like left the room. And then like if they came around and got me, I would have.
I know.
You know?
I know.
So it's like, do you ever have a moment where you're like, guys, really, like it? So I'm just gonna, okay.
Yes, of course, absolutely. But in those moments, because they do happen, I really try to lean so far into the opposite, like, moment before, where I think it was that I had gotten the call from my dad, like, we got him, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So then I have to cling to that, like, that is truth, that is gospel, I am safe, right? Like, so I had to just, in my mind, justify, my dad said I'm safe, you know? And kind of like lean into like the, you know, not naivete, but sort of like the, I guess, being super optimistic, you know, just like, you know, absurdly optimistic, right? So I think I tried as much as I could to like not think about, oh, this could happen, I could get kidnapped in this moment, right? So they would try to sell the being really caught off guard thing, but like if this were real life, like, oh my God, I would have been up and just flailing.
Right. Like
just taking a test tube and stabbing the person.
It's like taking all of them, just like anything you need, like taking your laptop and just
Oh my God.
Because it was just like, it was like, oh no, they're just gonna have her just, okay, well, we're gonna, you know, we as the audience have to go, all right, we have to buy it too, even though internally we're like, we would have fought, we would have screamed, we would have knocked things over, like we would have done everything.
You have to suspend belief, right? And I saw somebody say like, well, when does she go to the bathroom? And I'm like, during the kidnapping, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that is a fair question. However, in Salem, we bring people back from the dead, and you guys roll with it. And we all roll with it because that is why we love our soaps.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
all the name of the game. Yeah.
Yep.
Abigail, I want to change course and ask you about something that has dumbfounded us since it happened, and we want to get your take on it.
Oh my God.
Were you as confused as we were about how the Bobby Everett storyline ended? Like, were you? We bring that up constantly. We're like, that had so much, and again, we know the real life going on. There was a strike happening and different writers coming in and out, but I'm just curious about what you guys thought where we were sitting there watching, like, oh, they're ending this storyline. It felt like they were just like revving it up, and had an interesting triangle, like an unconventional triangle with you, Barbarette, who we affectionately refer to him as, and then Jada, and it's sort of like just stopped, and
it's like, boom, he's dead. And we're like, what?
Wait, is he really dead?
That's it?
This is how they're,
No,
and
that
Blake,
was,
of course, we're big Blake fans. So it was also like, wait, he's gone? Like, wait.
Yeah.
I know, ditto. I'm such a Blake Barris stan. But no, I was just as shocked and just as disappointed as you guys, because there would have been so much story gold to play there, and he's obviously exceptional and wonderful. So yeah, that was a huge bummer. And definitely felt like a big right turn alert, So yeah, that was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. But I still stand by. There's always a possibility, right? I mean, in this world of Salem, anybody can come back, and he can come back as like a 6th character that he's never played,
We joke, we're like, he's gonna come back as someone else in 2 years. Yeah.
Justin, that was not the dumbfounded moment I thought that you were going to bring up.
Oh,
what were you gonna bring up?
Yeah,
I was gonna bring up the Blue Bunny incident.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Abigail's like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so
you got this one. You take.
Tell me.
So we call this the Blue Bunny moment, and this is when Alex and Stephanie were having a moment in the afternoon at the hospital. This is back when they were filming
Body and Soul.
Yes. But Johnny walked in and thought it was Alex and Chanel.
Oh, right.
Yes. And so we call it the Blue Bunny moment because this was during a time I was eating Blue Bunny ice cream, and it was the chocolate and vanilla swirl. And I was like, if Johnny walked in and thought it was
how
Chanel.
How did you not know? Okay, so what we tried to do, and it obviously didn't translate, is we tried because we were all thinking the same thing too. How is it Chanel? This is really stretching it. We tried to have the sheet over me as much as possible so that he couldn't see anything.
Yes. Now to y'all's credit, you did that. Rob is a big guy, right? And so we were just like, he's like, and you're just like, oh, and so it makes sense. But then there's a moment of you're standing there long enough to where you can at least see an arm, a leg, or something, and realize that's not Chanel. Yeah.
Or even the
sounds.
what you're hearing. I know.
You should know how your wife sounds. Yeah.
we all thought the same thing, and it was one of those where we're like, just roll with it.
Just roll with it. Yeah.
So we have kindly named that the Blue Bunny moment because if it was a chocolate vanilla swirl, you would be able to tell, that it was. Yeah.
This is one of those moments that doesn't necessarily live on in Days infamy, but it will forever live on in Dishin Days infamy.
I couldn't.
Absolutely. Yeah. And including I was also let down by the Barbarette storyline because I also felt like that was a way to show something in Stephanie's past that we hadn't seen, and how it's linked to Jada who we were just getting to know as well. So it was interesting to have this one person link these two friends, but almost like in different times of life. So it was so good. And then all of a sudden it was like the next week it was like, oh, he dead?
Yeah. And I
It's
wanted
like-
to see more of Bobby Everett with Jada.
Yeah.
Like why
Yeah.
like that would have been a cool side to see maybe what that glimpse of their relationship was like.
Yes. Like,
And
oh,
flashbacks even, like something.
something. I mean, listen, we got the cutest photo of their engagement, which
Oh.
I still to this day love. Like seeing Jada just like this, just being all excited.
So
and
cute.
it was so cute, but like, oh, but yes, that's another moment in time where we're like, oh, we were so vested in that storyline, and then it was like, boop, okay, we're just gonna move on.
Yeah. It's really does though give me like hats off to the writers, because not only are they trying to plot storyline, but then they're also having to like navigate around contracts, availability, schedule. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. So sometimes when things happen, I'm like, there are so many other things that we don't even know going on, right?
Yes. Yeah. And that's one of the things we try to express here is that not too much, because we don't want to, disband belief sometimes, but sometimes we're like, y'all don't realize that even though in our mind we pretend like we're writers and we're like, why didn't they do this? There's so many other factors behind the scenes where I'm sure people are sweating like, how are we gonna make this make sense? Because this is happening, that's happening, they're not available. We wanted to pull this, but then that's not. And it's like, I'm sure that is a nightmare to where you finally have something and you kind of have to go, okay, well, here we go. Let's hope they like it, and then you have us like, they could have did it like this. Who wasn't available? They could have recasted that if he wasn't available. Like,
Right. Which is all fair.
that.
It's all fair. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but before we let you go, because again, we will keep you here forever. Almost like we're kidnapping you. Which,
well, this is a much better atmosphere. Let me tell you.
You know what? At least here you will get entertainment. You will have fun. We'll virtually DoorDash you some water.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Use your hands. Yeah.
So of course we know that Days films so far in advance. And we always like to kind of end with this question without giving too much. What is one word that you can use to describe what's coming up for Stephanie?
One word. Okay.
Yeah.
This is tough. This is really tough.
Yeah. We always limit it to one word because let me tell you, fans are like detectives. You give them multiple words and they're like, so this is what's gonna happen.
No, the fans are exceptional at these things. One word to describe what was the question again?
What's coming up for Stephanie?
One word.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be vague and say control.
Okay. Because that can mean many things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more question. So and I was thinking about this, just about like your journey as Stephanie. And we first met you when Stephanie was reintroduced in Beyond Salem.
Right.
And now, we've seen Stephanie, live life and gone through the ups and downs of living in Salem, which we kind of say now that the kids in Salem, like if you're a kid of a Patch or a Marlena, or like you should like take lessons in like, if you get kidnapped, this is what you should do. If a Demera does this, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about the evolution of Stephanie from when she was first introduced in Beyond Salem up until now? And even you can also answer how you've evolved as an actress, as a performer, playing this character, how you've evolved or allowed this character to evolve with you. Like, what have you seen in the evolution of this character and you?
God, that's a stunning question. I feel like for Stephanie, she's kind of relearning a lot of lessons, right? Like I was saying, she going through the kidnapping and being face to face with Jeremy again, and it's sort of like these repeated things in her life. I feel like Stephanie has evolved in a way where she's a smart girl.
Yeah,
she's strategic and she can be calculating, and I think she has grown stronger and maybe more resilient in the course of seeing her since Beyond Salem.
Yeah.
And I think too, she's also relearning lessons. So all of the positives that I was naming are kind of like this, like her growth isn't linear, but I do see her as someone who is evolving and growing and like relearning lessons and maybe feeling some shame about that, but not letting that hold her back. She never sort of she never gives up. Like, she just doesn't, and I really appreciate that about her. And so I think in that way, I think she is continuing to evolve in in a stronger, resilient, more complete person, even in spite of seeing shadow sides of herself that she doesn't like or that she wants to bury away. I think she's evolving by coming to terms with those things, and it's going to be messy, but that is life, and that's being human. And so I think in that way she is totally evolving, which is great. And then I would say for me as an actor, my God, it has been truly such a joy and such a challenge to work on this show, and to be getting this type of material and every script since. Honestly, I feel like it's just been a big growing opportunity for me to kind of, and this is what I nerd out about with acting, is the psychology behind it all. And so when I'm trying to figure out and justify why she feels a certain way, or why she says sorry when she says she is sorry, or why does she feel ashamed here, or why does she feel guilt here, it really has been interesting, because I'm finding that I relate to her a lot, and in the way that she thinks. And I'm like, oh my God, like, the casting is really good on this show, because and then it makes me think, like, wait, how do you see this about me that I've never, like, anyway, I could deep dive into all of that stuff. Maybe I should in therapy, but I will say, like, I just have been finding it so challenging and meaty and wonderful, and I'm just I do feel like I've grown as an actor in the sense too, where I've been able to kind of like relax a little more. I'm not, when you're first jumping on the scene, literally, it's like just whiplash, and I'm now getting to a flow and a nice groove where I'm like, oh, I can actually relax, and I can take this in, and I can be more present. I can memorize my lines quicker. All those little things, technical things, have all sort of been cementing slowly but surely over time. And so for me, this has just been the greatest gift.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, it's like I feel like I look at people in soaps and I think, wow, like as an actor, how do you continuously play a character and make them grow and evolve? And, you know, the situations that they've been in, you kind of, you know, hold on to those bits because, you know, it makes them grow as like you can't pretend that didn't happen,
Right.
you know, as the character keeps going. So I feel like it's a welcome challenge as an actor to continue to portray someone for years to come, you know, and that's why I feel like people do not give actors in the soap genre more credit, because it's a lot, you know, to it's a lot of things that you all have to do technically, also just like, you know, character growth and everything like that in order to keep like the characters moving forward and growing and making things make sense. Like when you get kidnapped with chloroform, and why are you not beating the person up and you know, and allowing them to kidnap you in the way that they did? You know, how is it that like, you know, you can put your hair in a ponytail and glasses and no one recognizes you? You know, you have to like, you know, think about all those things. So
and you're an actor, Tony. So you know, it's very advantageous to be on a soap because you do have that history and you have the whatever 300 episodes bolstering your choices in the 301st episode that you're shooting, right?
Yeah.
But it does make me think, I'm so grateful for that, but it makes me think, like, when you get an audition for a different TV show that's maybe a pilot or a movie that is an original, and you know you have no context.
Yeah.
It really does help you understand how much it feeds you to, you know, when they say like create your backstory. It's like I've never understood that as well as I do now, because it gives you so much more to play in these words and in this character that no one's ever seen or heard of before, right? So
exactly.
I think it's almost like feel grateful because it's lucky feeling to have all of this stuff already built in, because you've gotten to actually do it is like the gold, the jackpot.
Yeah. It's a unique gift given to soap actors. And Mariska Hargitay.
Yes. Exactly. Wow, I wonder what she's doing for Women's Day today. Probably something awesome.
Probably something awesome.
I need to watch her documentary. Did you watch it?
I did. It was it's amazing, and it's okay. Yeah, forget.
I need to go watch that.
Two things. Okay, for International Women's Day, if anybody wants a tips, 2 things you should watch today. You should go watch Barbie, because there is never and there will never be a better speech than America Ferrera's speech in that movie. And go watch Mariska Hargitay's movie about her mother, the late great Jane Mansfield, and it was life-changing, both of those.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great refs.
Oh, Barbie was actually I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this.
It was.
I felt
it was
something.
amazing. I was able to go to the Hollywood Bowl when they did the live orchestra at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was an all women's orchestra, and it was it was so empowering.
Oh,
awesome! Wow,
I love that. I love it. Well, Abigail, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks
really
everybody for the little comments that I see. So sweet.
Oh yes. The during these live broadcasts, like the fans are they're talking among themselves. They're talking to us. They're talking to you. So we and speaking of fans, my wonderful mother, who texted me and said, my computer is acting up, so I can't get into the chat, but I'm listening. But also tell Abigail, wait, let me make sure I have it right. She says, tell Abigail, hey, love her on the show. That is a quote from Mama Moore.
Mama Moore.
Mildred, yes, Mildred. Or Mama Moore, yes.
Mildred/Mama Moore, thank you so much for saying that. Very sweet.
And while you're here, I'm jumping ahead, but I feel like while you're here, we normally do our segment, and I always give out my official 3 Snaps Award. My 3 Snaps Award goes to you this week because you did such an amazing job with these scenes and being kidnapped and taking us on this journey. So you, Miss Abigail Klein, Stephanie Johnson, or Stephanie Johnson Kyriakis, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Wow, thank you. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Beautiful
You're so
award.
welcome. And we cannot wait to see what happens next with this storyline. I mean, we said it before. We were like, the best thing that could have happened now is for Stephanie to get kidnapped.
Yeah. Listen, I think so too. It's been the greatest little jumping off point.
Yes. So we all know there's more to come.
Yay. I appreciate you guys. Thank you
We
so
appreciate
much.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Give my love to Michael too, wherever.
Yes.
Oh yes, Michael is off being an amazing photographer, and so he sends his love as well. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Have a
You're
great
welcome.
rest of your Sunday.
Thanks.
You too.
Abigail.
Yes, you as well.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Abigail. I love her.
Yeah.
She's always so
Great.
sweet.
I know.
And
It's always
she's
very
super
close whenever we
talented.
see her.
All right, so let's continue Dishin Days, shall we? So we have already kind of dived into our top storylines here, which our first one is almost everything that we have talked about, which are our captives. I mean, there is so, all of this is so layered, but it's all so good. I just to reiterate a lot of the things that we said during the interview. I like the fact that Jeremy is a redeemable character. I like the fact that we got to see how he found Stephanie. I like this revisit of Owen. And I even find his character to be very interesting. And maybe because, and I will admit, I missed this story, the original storyline, because I kind of fell off of Days for a hot second. But I guess in my mind, I thought he was going to be like more in and out. And I thought this would wrap up like, I was like, oh, this week is going to be it. But I thought he was just a part of the kidnapping, but to know that he was also like hired by Rolf to like watch the tube, and I was like, oh, we are doing more with him.
At the top of every show, we Tony asked the question, what did you think about this week? This was the week then, and I don't know if I'm just like so like for the first time I'm feeling good in about a month, and I'm really like zoned in on this week's episodes. But this week it had my attention, and the unexpected twists that the storyline took. That I didn't see coming, and then the moments that we did see coming, there was a magnetism, like we talked about with Abigail, in the way that Abigail and Michael played off of each other in the kidnapping scenes in that room, in the way that Wes played Owen as kind of like a deeper obsession. And for those that were not watching back then, I can tell you that yes, this is the obsession part of this character is not new, but the last time you kind of saw the evolution of it. You saw it build, but it wasn't a quick storyline. You saw he went from a hired gun to developing an obsession. Almost. This is like, boom, this guy's been obsessed with her for 15 years. He is scary. He is delusional. He cannot be reasoned with. Very much kind of in tune almost with the character that Wes played on General Hospital, where it's just this guy can't be reasoned with. You have there's no other way just to feed into his delusions.
I almost feel like his obsession with her was reignited after he read One Stormy Night.
I think it probably was, and we'll probably
he wanted to have a one stormy night.
Yeah, we'll probably get more of that story going forward because that is a big amount of time to be carrying a torch for someone. So yeah, the book was most definitely the catalyst, and we'll probably get more info on that this coming week. But the Dr. Rolf element, I did not see coming.
That he hired him.
I did not see that coming at all because Dr. Rolf was in no way, shape, or form a part of this original storyline. So to know that not only are they connected, but the weird twist that Dr. Rolf actually has no idea that Wes had a previous connection to Stephanie.
Owen?
That Dr. Rolf, that Owen has had no connection there.
Which is so weird that you would think that Dr. Ralph, much like Rita, knows what's been happening in the Demera camp, and this is something that he does not know. That's why Owen was, when Dr. Ralph was like, "Oh, EJ's going to be here soon. Would love for you to meet him." Owen was like, "Gotta go." Walked out. He's like, "I'm out of here."
Yes, because EJ would know in a second.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I guess the last thing to talk about is Philip and Gabby, and just how I like the fact that, again, Philip, told Gabby, but also really for us, the history of what happened with Owen. So I like those moments that that the show does to remind us, hey, this is what happened, so that it's not just who is that? Kind of a moment,
And it also served to deepen the relationship between them, where she spent the last few weeks talking about her ex. He's talking about his past with his ex, and they're both just talking about it two grown-ups. I'm not into this person anymore. I'm not into this person anymore. But we're mature adults, and we can talk about our past relationships without it being weird.
But also, Gabby, put that phone down, honey. Put the phone down. Or if all of that's going to be going on, place that order quickly.
Yeah.
Hey, room service. Hey, can I get some strawberries, some whipped cream, some chocolate syrup, and champagne? Thank you. Click.
Yep. Nope. Nobody needs to hear that.
Because let me tell you, if I was on the other end of the phone, I would have been like, "Ma'am, do you want to call me back?"
Oh, the things that Tony would have to deal with if he worked concierge service.
My gosh.
There was there was one tiny little element that actually was a surprise as well, that made that writing wise made way too good sense, that it was the phone call from Chad about what Thomas had seen that tipped Steve and Jada in the right direction. That was a really smart little nugget that they did.
Yes. Yeah. And I like that flashback moment of Thomas finding the phone, although he was like, "I don't know who it is," and then flipped it over and Stephanie's name is all over it. I'm like, he didn't read that?
No. Yeah, it's a little.
Listen, we're just fans with open arms. All right. So that's it with that storyline, right? And now let's go to the next storyline. She's back. The reveal of the person in the tube is no other than Lexi Carver.
Yeah. Shocking.
How? Well, okay. I was thinking about this before we signed on. I first want to know, how do you all feel that it's Lexi in the tube?
Just as speaking as the character of Lexi, I don't think it could have been anyone else.
No one else in the tube?
I mean, obviously it could have been any number of people, but I in terms of the buildup, in terms of who who would be the person to bring back that would have such a reverberating impact, I don't think it could have been anybody else but Lexi.
Justin, what do you think?
I love it. I part of me has always thought she was alive anyway. Like I know we saw her die, and she died of quote unquote natural causes theoretically, but I always in the back of my mind was like, oh, I think this is such an interesting character that it seems killing her made a statement, and I think bringing her back would make an even bigger one. And I sort of relate this to what happened with Will. Like, she didn't die as tragically as he did, but I think we all saw that was a mistake when it happened, and it was fueled by like outside sources. Not that Lexi's death was, but it was sort of like when they brought Will back, it was like righting a wrong. This one, I don't feel like it's necessarily righting a wrong, but I think there's so much to tell with this character, and I don't know if this is a character that should have been killed off 15, 17 years ago, whatever. So.
So I looked it up really quick. So Lexi Carver died back in 2012. So this is now almost 14 years later. Please don't hate me.
We would never.
There's a couple of things. One, I feel like, and I am very open to recasts. I am very open to y'all know I'm just a fan with open arms, right? I feel like if it was going to be the choice of Lexi, I personally would want no one else than Renee Jones. And if Renee Jones wasn't available, then like, let's figure out somebody else in the tube. Like, I'm interested in seeing why Lexi, because as I was thinking about this, I was like, why would EJ want to bring Lexi back? Or why go through all this trouble for Lexi? Like, what is the purpose? And I got a little stuck with it, because then my mind started going, well, who else could it have been? And I was like, of course, it still would have been interesting if it was Abigail. It would have been interesting if it was Stefan. And those are the two that like that and especially with the storyline of like Stefan's dead, and like, you know, but no one believed Vivian, but somehow like the tube opened and it was Stefan. I was like, I feel like that would have been like, okay, you know, but I don't know. Those are my thoughts right now. Like, of course, I'm interested in seeing how this all plays out. But I think it was that moment of, I sometimes wish that certain legacy characters were just laid to rest.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people agree with you. Yeah.
And because even like, because we just had the confirmation that Stefano is dead, so then we went through that. But before that, Bo came back. You know, Bo kind of died, you know, in the same way, but then got brought back during Beyond Salem, and then we watched that journey. Then he got shot again, and you know what I mean. So it's like, okay, great, and then now we're at Lexi, and we're like, this gonna have to be really good in order for y'all to keep bringing all these people back from the dead. This has to be like, I want to eat crow and be like, man, that was good. That was really good. And I don't want to be let down. If you're gonna do this, I don't want to be let down.
I'm with you there. That's my only caveat to this, is that, no offense to the writers, but they haven't exactly wowed us with in terms of who they brought back and the significance of it. So my thing has been like, for this storyline is like, oh, this to me is their time to shine. Like, this is the storyline that they can put the feather in their cap to be like, we brought Lexi back and look what we did with her. Look who she is now. Look how she's stirring up trouble here or there, or whatever the iteration is. My hope is that this is going to be a really worthwhile storyline, and that it's not done for shock value. I think that would disappoint me if this is a 2-month storyline that was done for shock. I hope that's not the case. I hope that if you're going to bring Lexi back, really bring her back.
Yeah.
Anytime you bring a legacy character back, it is quite a risk. And especially if you're going to bring a legacy character back and not bring the original actor.
Yeah.
Yes. As we just learned with Peter Blake, as we learned when they brought Bo back, it was, it's a risk. Anytime you do it is a risk. And they were never going to get Renee Jones, unfortunately. We know that. Renee Jones is retired from acting. It was never going to happen. So even to bring up the subject, I wouldn't have wanted to be the person who actually brought up the subject, what if we did this? Having said that, now that we're here, storyline wise, you mentioned, Tony, why would EJ want to bring Lexi back? Well, there are a couple of reasons. It's his sister, obviously. It's his favorite sister. Lexi and EJ had a bond. For better, for worse, Lexi was probably Stefano's favorite child. EJ might be the most like him, but Lexi was his favorite. And as was brought up a few weeks ago, Stefano unfortunately played a part in giving Lexi the disease that ultimately took her life. And so storyline wise, I can imagine that Stefano's guilt from that, he would not want to have let her go. He would not have let her go that easily. As obsessed as that man was with living forever, the only person he would have wanted that more than for himself would have been his favorite child. So I have no questions about why Lexi would have been in the tube, why Dr. Rolfe would have found any possible way and kept working diligently for years to try to not only preserve her body, but resurrect her, as it were. And EJ probably would have felt the same way.
Yeah, I think outside of maybe Susan, Lexi is the obvious choice. If EJ was going to do all this for a character, I don't foresee any other character outside of his mother that he would do this for. Like I said, he was terribly close to Lexi. She was very much the favorite child. She was, his closest sibling, so to speak. So if he was going to do this for someone, like maybe he would have done it for Abigail. Maybe that probably would have been more for Chad, but maybe he would have done it just the same. But in terms of him going to bat and getting Rolfe and getting the money and teaming up with Gwen, like it makes sense. It would be Lexi in the tube. Like out of all people, this is the person he would do this for.
Yeah, I just it's definitely a different way of thinking. So thank you for that, Araceli, because I always think when Dr. Rolfe and Annie DiMera brings someone back for the dead, it's more for evil purposes or getting back purposes. So I think that's where my mind went. Putting in that perspective, I'm like, okay, that makes a little more sense as to like, why it is Lexi. But it's also I guess my mind went to other unfinished business. We don't know where Abigail's body is, and so it's like, okay, so what are we gonna do with that? And then it's still a question as to whether Vivian was lying about Stefan. What are we gonna do about that? So it's like,
yeah, and now we know that Rolfe kind of didn't intervene. We were presumed that Rolfe intervened with Peter, so we know Peter is probably not dead out there somewhere. So there's a lot of DiMeras floating around. So, but we can't answer the question of where they all are all at once.
But also it will forever be such an issue with me. We were screaming, bring Peter back, and y'all finally did, and y'all killed him. within weeks, and it's like, well, killed him, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like, geez, Louise. So all that to say, I'm very interested in seeing how it goes. This is also, I mean, I feel, sometimes I feel bad for how I say things. I kind of wish, I kind of wish Paulina's response was different.
Yeah.
Like I wanted it to be more like spooked and shocked and just kind of like almost like I don't even have the words. The fact that like it's Lexi, you know, like a I don't know, like the way she responded, I was like she almost seemed disgusted, like Lexi. But I don't know, it's just
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see.
we don't know how this story will play out. And it's, again, new writers. We haven't had the best track record in terms of bringing people back. And I think Lexi is such a beloved character that
He is.
It's such a mixed bag. So it's like, and then you don't have Renee playing it. I think if Renee was playing this character, I think people would maybe feel differently. But again, it's a new actress. It's a new iteration. Whenever someone comes on, it's always a new iteration of the character.
Technically, she's the third. Well, no, fourth.
Well, no, she's probably the fifth, I think.
Fifth, I think.
Oh, fifth?
Yeah, she's the
Because
fifth.
if you Renee, obviously. Wait.
No, Renee
someone
was
play-
like fourth. No, Renee
Oh.
was. It's confusing because we had the ghosts who were played by different
Right.
actresses, so
That's also who I'm including too. Is
Yeah.
are the ghosts.
yeah.
Because
So
those were
Renee
two
was
different
the
ones.
third or the fourth person. That's the thing too. People say I don't want to recast, but the person you love is a recast. Like she was not the original. Renee Jones wasn't.
But that's the one we want.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But it's not. It's a recast.
But life,
Yeah.
guys.
But-
I mean, I agree. It's a risk. It's a risk, but this is where we are. So we have to, again, just put ourselves in where we are. There is a more diabolical side to this as well, and you could see it in the reasoning that EJ chose to have Paulina finally see Lexi. Because let's be clear, the Damaras are not altruistic at all. It's the one word that you could not use to describe them. And while there's potential for money in this, while there's the family component in this, there is that little EJ element of just sticking it to Paulina.
Of
Oh,
course,
totally.
especially after she's snooping and snobbing
Just
through his business.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
you
has a
could
problem
tell.
with that.
Yeah, his face, he was relishing finally showing her what he's been working on.
Yeah. Well, speaking of EJ, our lovely friends in Tacoma, Washington, wanted to sound off. Where is that? Oh my gosh. You know what? Pressing the buttons can be a lot. So they wanted to sound off about EJ regarding this storyline. And here we go.
Hi, Dishin Days. I'm Melissa.
I'm Myrtle Hope,
I'm Patty.
and we're from Tacoma, Washington.
This week our rant is about EJ. I don't know what EJ's doing. He's supposed to be a lot smarter than this. Why is he trusting Kat? Telling her he doesn't trust many people, but he trusts her? That does not seem like a really smart move. And they haven't even known each other long enough to warrant this. He's trusting her based on these flashbacks they've been having of Wuthering Heights. It doesn't make sense, and you'd expect EJ to be smarter than this, and this is going to blow up in his face, and I can't even feel bad because why is he doing this? It's so stupid.
Cat Green gets a new backstory like people change their clothes. Who even is Cat Green?
Thanks, guys.
I'm loving the travel component now.
So in regards to EJ and before the reveal happened, I don't know, EJ is doing a lot, and we're just like, okay.
Part of me wonders if it, like, I don't know. part of me is holding out hope there's a little bit of a fake out there. He just seems, and again, maybe it's the reveal last week where like he thought his history with Kat influenced like his relationship with Samantha back then, which is kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sold on that, but Dan seems to be playing him a little bit giddy around her. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a switch up. Like, is he suspicious of her, and this is part of a plan, or is he slightly maybe onto her a bit? I don't know. I'm hoping it's like that, and it's not just him just being,
But this
eyes over her.
This whole thing with Kat's backstory, like I feel like it started so long ago as well when she recognized Sammy in the photo, and then it was left alone. Then Wuthering Heights came, which I was like, are they tying this to the movie coming out? And those memories, and then it's kind of not brought up, and I'm just like, when are we going to get to the meat of this? Because this has just been floating around, and it's almost like they're like, okay, let's. Here's something on that, but we're going to leave it over here. Let's concentrate on this. Oh, let's give them another tidbit about this, but we're going to, because it's almost like they're trying to figure this out. But then they keep us busy by like, I shouldn't do those hands, but they keep us busy by doing other stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know. I just, I don't know. But also, side note, I almost feel like I need to also give 3 snaps to Renee Jones because, baby, we ain't heard a peep from her. It's like she clocked out of Days and she walked out those doors, and like only certain people I think have heard from her. But there has been no like fan sightings of her. There have been like no quotes from her. Like Renee Jones. I picture Renee Jones still looking like Renee Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And like wearing like a mask just because she's very cautious of the outside, and going to Lowe's, buying some potting soil, going back to her house, tending to her garden and minding her business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I really would have liked to have seen her and this is no offense to the woman who's playing Lexi. But if that tube had opened and Renee Jones was laying there looking like Renee Jones, I would have clutched my pearls and gay gasped and yelled at the TV and been like, I would have thanked her to the high heavens of thank you for coming. I don't care how long you are back for, but thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Renee Jones. All right. But that's pretty much it with this storyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's move on to our next top storyline, which is Sophia strikes again.
Yay.
Sophia has everybody by the puppet strings.
Yeah.
And when Melinda visited her, and I just kept waiting for Melinda to be like, you crazy bitch. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah. I'm glad that Melinda really saw the real Sophia this week, and maybe she's the only one that actually has seen her, because Melinda knows all the secrets now.
Yes.
And it seems like she's the only one who has actually seen the real Sophia, and it's like Sophia is just gone. Whatever, and there's a lot of people. If I'm honest, this is not the way I wanted this to go. For her to be Jan Spears 2.0, because we saw during the pregnancy storyline, especially during the delivery storyline last summer, the complexity that was going on in her head, in the storyline, how it was bringing all these people together, and how it was just so traumatic. I didn't want it to go in this direction. Now that we're here, this is where we are, and she is Jan Spears 2.0.
She's crazier than Jan Spears. And also Sophia Choi. Scotch tape should not be used when you putting something in the mail. Especially just one strip. I was like, I know she don't think whatever is in that box is gonna make it to Rachel. And also, Rachel, stop having these grown conversations with grown people. You need to be playing with what's the snake's name?
S'mores.
S'mores.
S'mores. You need to be playing with s'mores and doing your homework.
Well, I mean, I guess the good thing about this storyline is that it is giving Rachel some maturity, and that she, small as she is, can recognize this chick's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this week she was finally like, that's even weirder. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, if this, how old is Rachel? 11? We're going to say 11, 12, somewhere around in there, 10, 11, 12. For someone like that to look at your grown self and say, that plan sounds even weirder than what you originally said. That's a kid that at least got some sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know she had her issues, but she's like, baby, I question now everything. So you mean to tell me you want me, a whole me, to give Holly a gift from you, but not tell you it's from you? Oh, but now you just want me just to drop it in her purse so that...
Yeah, come on.
Girl, if you don't go talk to your doctor and try to get better, here, as a matter of fact, take these pills back. Also, when she was sending it to Rachel, I thought to myself, now, if I was Brady, when the package came, I would have been like,
who's sending my underage daughter a package? Yeah.
oh, like, did you order something from Amazon? Like, what? Why do you have a package? But they'll probably make it so that Brady isn't home and the package comes, and so Rachel can just get it.
Yes.
I watch. How much do you want to bet? I'm going to mark this at 4:29 p.m. Sunday, March 8th. How much do you want to bet when that package comes? Nobody's going to be home except for Rachel.
I mean, that would make the most sense.
Yeah. I just need Sophia to get out of Bayview. I'm tired. I want her in Salem. I don't mind her causing havoc, but get her out of Bayview. It's wearing thin now.
I need her to be a little bit better before she gets out of Bayview. Just a little bit. You can still have a little touch of crazy, but I need you to be a little bit better than the crazy that you are now. Because the crazy you are now is a little too diabolical.
I don't see that happening. I see us just going way further down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Then I love that they were able to equate Holly's hunger, mood swings, and everything to pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Even link it more so when she was talking to Johnny and Chanel.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I also would have had more than one pregnancy test just to be sure. You should always buy two. Actually, I think two come in a box.
They do. They do.
Take both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Or buy at least two from different ones so that you can be sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the way Tate's face looked when she was like, I might be pregnant, you could tell in his face, he was like, I know this ain't, I know we're not here again. I know we're not about to do this again.
But he's just so like when the test came back negative, and mind you, it could have actually been positive. It could have gone like this. She's being, poisoned by Sophia and she's pregnant. We could have easily gone that way.
I don't need all that.
No, I'm not saying no. I know we don't need all that. I'm just saying it could have gone that way as well. But when it came back negative, and then his immediate response was to tell her that Ari gave them space for the night. I'm like,
That was
dude,
John, yeah.
dude, read the room. What is wrong with you?
I have to say, I was already annoyed with them about they were arguing and couldn't in their 19, 20 something brains couldn't figure out where to take a pregnancy test. Like go to the bathroom. Like you need a hotel suite to do it. You need privacy. You need a comfortable.
She didn't want
place.
to do it in the bathroom. Remember, she said she didn't want to do it in the bathroom.
I know it made no
Lord
sense there
have
either.
mercy. Nobody's saying leave the test in the bathroom with you, but just go take the test.
Go and take it in the bathroom. Like, it was like you're gonna run the risk of running into someone since you all live with someone else. Like, I don't know. It seems silly to.
Well, I almost would have went back to the Kiriakis mansion because at least Sarah and Maggie, while they were sitting at the table for brunch, was already like, "Are you pregnant?" And then she could have just been like, "I was just taking the test just to make sure it's negative. It's fine." They already would have had an inkling. But then the whole excuse was like, "Well, that's further. My dad's place is just right there. I don't want to go over there." Somebody said she put the test in her purse.
Exactly.
Oh goodness.
This like I don't hate this storyline, but I hate this couple. I mean, like it's no longer cute. It's no longer even mildly annoying. I've given them a chance and I stand a firm, please make it go away.
Never. Never. It's not going away. But I also there was still a part of me that was hoping that she was going to get into the sorority.
A part of me thought that too, like it was going to be a fake out or something, and
they were like, we like a little touch of crazy.
Yeah,
come on in. Because now it's like, what are we doing? We introduced this whole thing about rushing. Like now you've killed it for the person who wanted it, but Ari is still going to be a part of it. Like,
no.
What are we doing? I would have loved for the early signs to be like that fight in the beginning, but then her to still kind of be able to play it cool and get them back on her side, to where she's like in the sorority.
No, she's not been able to get them back on her side. Nothing Ari did would have fixed that giant mess that Holly made. Let me tell you something about girls. We do like the drama.
You don't need to tell her. You don't need to woman-splain us.
No, not to you, but
about girls.
Just let's for our wider audience. Let me just explain. Girls do like drama. To say that we don't is ridiculous. But we don't like drama that we ourselves are not in control of. Somebody else bringing the drama to our door and in our faces without our consent, no thank you.
Oh yeah, the sorority thing is useless to the show. I mean, unless they change it around, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is going to be a storyline for Ari that, under the guise of we thought it was going to be for Holly and she's the one who was gung-ho, but it's actually Ari who is going to get whatever this storyline is. Who knows? But
yeah,
I'm happy for Ari. She needs better friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I actually don't mind that so much because I think sometimes when you do go to college, you think you're against something or you don't know where you fit in yet, and then you find it, and it's like, oh, this is something Ari has discovered that she actually. The negative views that a lot of people's, justifiable or not have about sororities and fraternities. So, yeah, I actually don't mind this part of it.
All right. Well, that was your top storylines of Days of Our Lives for this week. And we are about to head into our tidbits. But before we do, just a gentle reminder, please follow us on all social media platforms. We're Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us right now, all 172 of you, and you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. We are so close to 5,000. So please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to join our exclusive members only page, please make sure you do that using your tablet or laptop. You can find the join button on our YouTube channel. And also, please make sure you show some love to James Locke. Oh, nope. Before I say that, find us on your favorite podcast station. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and where all podcasts can be found. Shout out to those who are listening to us right now on your favorite podcast station. And also show some love to our former co-host, my chocolate twin, James Locke Jr. over at JLJ Media on YouTube, and where all podcasts can be found. And keep letting us know what you think and what your thoughts are, either during our live broadcast or during your rewatch. And now let's go into our tidbits. Here goes some tidbits. Yeah. I just came up with that myself. Yeah.
That's potential.
Yeah. All right. Let's start with custody.
Yay.
About damn time.
Yeah.
I love that it took Victoria to get pneumonia for Sarah to realize, oh, she does miss her daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's her daddy. Ain't got nothing to do with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's her daddy.
Yeah. Finally, yeah, she realizes I can't be a total stick in the mud about this.
Yeah.
I have to be actually a reasonable parent.
But also,
put my child first ahead of my anger.
But you gotta love how Gwen and Xander was just rubbing it on so thick for EJ. And I will say, shout out to the Demera staff, because those breakfast scones and things did look real good. And Paul has, I feel like we've said this before. Paul eats like Xander eats like a man. Like just which is fine. But it's like he was eating, I mean, it's like all that man is hungry.
I love that sound effect was just so clear. When you find the sound effect button for eating, that's what it sounds like.
And it probably definitely wasn't the time. It was just Paul Telford just eating as Xander.
We're supposed to be ravenous after, the session with Gwen.
Right. Well, we do have another sound off moment about the Xander, Gwen, and EJ moment.
Hi, it's Jen, aka Jen Furigal fan, obviously. My highlight for this week was the Gwen, Xander, and EJ scenes. So funny. My favorite line was when EJ said to Xander, "You are the equivalent, the social equivalent of static cling." I mean, that just cracked me up, but their scenes were just so hilarious, and I just love their banter back and forth. When EJ was like, ooh, to them being together and breaking the bed and all that, just hilarious. But that was my highlight. Thanks. Bye.
I mean, just everything about how they were laying. Oh, the staff is so good. They put that bed back together. Well, for us to, yeah. So it was good.
The only part of this whole this storyline that I find curious and I really want to push back on was the scenes with Marlena and Xander, where I thought that Xander was making a lot of sense in those scenes in his therapy session with Marlena, where he was, to me, my, therapy, obsessed mind really heard positive things in everything he said, that he wanted to change and to grow for himself, and he wanted to be the best version of himself for his daughter, and he had to let Sarah go. All of that seemed positive. And even the part about Gwen, I didn't see anything wrong with what he was saying. Now granted, you might, in the back of your mind think, oh, I'm going to keep an eye on this just in case anything changes, and just in case this relationship becomes more complicated, more than the physical relationship that they're, spouting off to everybody that it is. But the part that really got me was when Xander walked out of the room and Marlena said he's getting more dangerous. And I'm like, from where did you get that?
Yeah. I didn't know if she was trying to make the point of being with Gwen is going to make him revert back to who he was, if that's what she was trying to go about, which I'm assuming is the thing, because otherwise everything else is what you're sort of striving for in therapy and to do. And so I felt like that's what it was. Maybe she was just making a comment on, oh God, he's with Gwen. All the hard work we've been doing for the last year is gonna be undone if he gets mixed up with her, I guess.
Yeah, but even that I would characterize as risky, as a little 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. To label it as dangerous was, I think, a huge, very incorrect leap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I was like, did I miss something? But the past few months I've been missing a lot. So yeah. All right. Oh. And for the Xander and oh wait, I'm sorry. Okay. And for the Xander and Sarah fans, what a loving moment between two reconciling parents, only to be interrupted by Brady. I think we all felt it too. Like, he walked in, we were just like,
why are you here?
Yeah,
it's like you could have called her and been like, hey, is the baby okay?
Yeah.
Like, you rushing in like y'all are in a full-on relationship. Y'all are just in with each other. That does not warrant you putting on your jacket and leaving your apartment and walking over to University Hospital. I just assume
they're like a weird in between. So these moments that aren't hitting like they would be if they were in a full-fledged relationship and things were great. And it's just I don't know what they're doing with that relationship. I feel like it's too slow of a burn that it's not even registering. That's how slow it is.
Yeah.
It's okay, because it's a slow burn that we want to go nowhere.
I mean,
All right. Well, that was it for that tidbit, correct?
Yes.
All right. On to our next tidbit, which is happy birthday, Julie. I thought it was so sweet to see her screen, her lock screen on the phone, and it was her and Doug. I just Susan Seaforth Hayes is a unique kind of woman, because I just watch those moments where she's talking about Doug and know that she really means Bill.
Yeah.
And I love first of all, I love the moment that these two women of a certain age are up past midnight.
Yeah.
And I love that Maggie felt compelled to talk to come over and be with her after a visit from a red bird. Like I loved how all of that was just written for Maggie to just kind of. Sometimes you need someone, but not in a way of like, I need you to hold my hand, or you just need someone around. And I felt like that was perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect.
To know that was actually the first time that Julie had been left alone in the house without anybody. That is kind of it is jarring a little bit, because everybody and in the initial wake of when someone passes, and especially in the first year, everybody surrounds you, everybody comforts you, but then slowly life goes on and you get a new routine, people move forward, and then all of a sudden you look around and it's like there's no one to talk to.
Yeah, like and that house is empty because everybody gone. Jeremy kidnapped, Chad is gone, Doug is passed.
Yeah,
it's just Julie.
Oh, for Jewel fan who's asking where's JJ at, because JJ was in the house. Remember, Julie kicked him out.
Yes.
And
she said, "Oh, since you want to follow Jeremy, so you can follow him to another place."
Yes, and even if he hadn't been kicked out, he's actively searching for Stephanie and Jeremy. So he wouldn't have been in the house.
I doubt they're talking much. Yeah, it's probably still very. If he is still in the house and hasn't officially moved out, they're probably just avoiding each other. Yeah. It was a sweet little aside. Like it sort of, we could have easily done without it, but it was a nice little check-in point with these two characters, and it made sense with who they are. And like I said, this is, I think, where the writers really excel. Like Maggie would be the person to call Julie after midnight and come right over and have a little visit. And
yeah. I loved it. It was a great moment. So happy birthday, Julie. And someone said they love seeing Maggie in sweats. Me too. But you know what? That is such a, I'm a woman of a certain age and I'm at home chilling. Kind of sweatsuit.
You know it's expensive and comfortable. Like
right.
It's not
expensive, comfortable, yet fashionable. Yeah, very demure. Like that wasn't a Fruit of Balloon like sweatsuit that you get out of Walmart.
No.
That was from Saxon's.
Their loungewear line, yes.
Right. All right. Let's move on to our last tidbit, which is plagiarism. You mean to tell me this is the plan?
I know.
I mean, I kind of assumed it was the plan. The way that Bonnie was talking about the book, the title of the book, it was just way too similar.
It's a little. I heard it and I was like, oh, that's the plan, and I was like, that's kind of a nice, even way of doing this storyline. But also, I'm like, really, no one at Demira read this. Like that, they're going on the fact that it hasn't been read by anyone. Like I understand they're saying Johnny didn't really comb through it and really read it, which I was like, okay, that I can kind of believe. But you're telling me Demira would put out a book without checking? Like it's a little far fetched, but I like the idea of it because we've been speculating like how far is Kate gonna go and what does this mean since she reiterated this week like she thinks of Johnny as a grandson and then she has the same relationship with Theo who's in and out, and like what would this mean her relationship with Roman? And so it's kind of a nice even playing ground where technically she's not really doing anything wrong.
No.
But it just don't make no sense.
Yeah, there's a part of it that's like, wait, what? How is it?
And also for as popular as One Stormy Night was, you mean to tell me that nobody over at Demira was like, oh yeah, let me take a look at it, and then somebody go, guys, this is very similar.
Yeah. Well, they did briefly explain that the person in charge of the book division over there is not into fiction at all. So
but
he wouldn't
still.
he wouldn't have assumed that. Yeah.
And they've been pushing like they're fast tracking this book, so I mean they're trying to cover their bases, even though it's a little far fetched that it wouldn't have rang a few bells or
That's crazy. It don't make no sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've forgotten the name. I guess I didn't even think
One
of the
rainy
parallel.
afternoon.
Yeah.
One rainy afternoon.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of romance novels have very similar names.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm not in publishing, but I would imagine any publishers out there, like, especially in the romance division, you would really have to do your due diligence because there's a lot that are just way too similar.
Yeah. Also, this really doesn't seem like Bonnie, and not that she's intent. I'm assuming they're trying to make this case, at least for maybe Bonnie's defense, that she was influenced by it, but she never actively. I can't see Bonnie sitting down being like, "I'm going to copy this book and fool everyone." I don't think that's where they're going.
No.
But it also doesn't seem like Bonnie would need to do that. I felt like if anyone's going to write like one of these like trashy popular romance novels, I see it more from Bonnie. So I feel like she would have her own story. She would have her own characters that wouldn't really, you know what I mean? There wouldn't be a plagiarism issue with Bonnie of all people. I don't know. Like if anyone is going to have in their head like a sexy escapade to talk about, it's going to be Bonnie, who has her own stuff. But I don't know. It's a little convoluted, even though I like the idea of their plan being somewhat legal. Because that's what I was kind of worried about. I was like, okay, how far are we going to go with setting up these people that are supposedly in your family?
Yeah, I mean, and it's unfortunate, but Kate has a point that, Maggie is just too Pollyanna to sometimes to get things done in the way that they need to get done, especially when it's crunch time and Xander is pointing out that he has done the work and he's run the numbers over and over again, and they will not make their first loan.
Yeah.
Just well, since I'm at a loss for words, I can tell you someone who is not at a loss for words regarding this whole plagiarism thing.
Hi, I'm Brienne from Florida. My comment is about Xander, of course. I still don't quite understand what Xander and Kate are doing. I think they took one stormy night and either put the title page of Bonnie's book on it and passed it off to Johnny as Bonnie's book, or Bonnie really did plagiarize and that's what's happening. But I still don't really understand. Great seeing Gwen and Xander giving EJ a hard time and like rubbing everything in his face. And then such sweet moments with Xander and Sarah and Victoria. And he gets to see his daughter again. So hooray.
Brienne loves her some Xander.
Yep.
But she is also just as confused as we are about the whole plagiarism thing.
Yeah. It does beg the question though too, how do they know it's plagiarized? I'm guessing Kate did read it. Because that was the
she said that she read it. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean it doesn't make, I don't know, any other character I think it would make sense, but maybe not Bonnie.
Yeah. All right, well, before we leave the city of Salem and what happened this week on Days, let's find out what the thumbs up thumbs down is from our very own Debbie.
This is Debbie with thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up to Xander and EJ. I love those scenes of humor and sarcasm we had on Tuesday. I'd love to see more of those. They're great together. And thumbs down to Sophia and her hospital room. I can't believe she's on the phone and then she's having these meetings with Melinda and nobody's hearing her talk. Plus thumbs down that we had to hear the words pregnancy and Tate again. But thankfully he isn't going to be a daddy. That's all. Bye.
Amen to that.
Amen. And now let's see how this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives stacked up with Christian Me World's scorecard.
Sup, Dishin Days. Okay, so here's the scorecard for this week. It's short and sweet, so here goes. Lexi, plus 100. She's back. EJ, plus 20. He finally shut Paulina up. Paulina, minus 20. Ooh, child, her marriage is trouble. But if she could just stop it with the AliExpress Oscar performing theatrics, she's gonna get an extra minus 20. Tate, minus 20. Bro, you just had a pregnancy scare, but you wanna bang Holly again? Somebody needs a castra. Wait, This is a family show, right? Somebody needs to take a chill pill. Oh, and Sarah and Xander, plus 50. Sarah for revisiting the custody agreement with Xander, and Xander for changing his therapy goal to focus on himself, for himself and his daughter only, and not to please anybody else. So yeah.
It's the end. It's the end for me. Okay. Christian, shout out to Christian Me World, because Christian Me World has been a loyal fan of Dishin Days for years. And when I tell you, I have yet to know what that man looks like.
Well, the twist is we already know him. We just don't know it. We already know.
We do?
No, I'm joking, saying like,
oh,
if we actually knew him, and yeah.
I mean, he says all the correct things. I just will.
Yes. When are we going to get the reveal, Christian Me World?
Right.
Even if it's just private with us, like a private meeting.
There's almost even a part of me that wonders what it would be like to have Christian Me World as like a special guest host on the show.
Oh my goodness. That's opening the floodgates.
It's something to think about, maybe for like members or loyal fans over the years.
Yeah. So come on and talk days with us
for a whole episode, and then do this segment live.
Let us know if you'd be interested in that, viewers. I think you would.
He said, you will never know, Tony. I like to say mysterious. And in that, that already makes me feel like I have to be a Stephanie. And very
look at her.
Don't try to chloroform me. All right, y'all. So he'll appear with a Nicole mask. All right, y'all. So that
glasses on.
Oh my God! Actually, speaking of the Nicole mask, I thought for 2 seconds that's why everyone thought it was Jeremy, because I thought Owen was using.
I did too for a second last week.
Mask. Yeah,
I was like, oh, they're bringing back the mask, and
yeah, I totally thought that. All right. Well, that has been your week of days. Now let's go into our favorite part of the show, which are our segments. We're just going to revisit mine for 2 seconds, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. So listen, you guys already saw me give my 3 Snaps Award live to Miss Abigail Klein. She has been killing it this week in this kidnapping storyline. And so it has to go to this incredible person. We truly appreciate her. So once again, Abigail Klein, Stephanie Johnson, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Ooh. Oh, snap. And that too. All right. We do not have captioned that because Michael Mattis is away being a photographer. But what we will be doing is traveling back to those were the days.
All right, everyone, taking you back to March 7th, 1930, which is the anniversary of Tom and Alice's wedding. Of course, this predates the show, but wanted to sort of mark it as a special time. And of course, over the last few years, we've gotten a glimpse into their younger years when we see the younger Tom and Alice. We've now seen them twice. So this might be a interesting sort of a way to take them. I was thinking like, oh, it'd be a nice way to see them come back again and see Tom and Alice in another iteration, maybe their wedding, maybe something else. But it also made me think of like, we're sort of missing that like dynamic on the show. I think Susan Seaforth Hayes is amazing. And I think between her and Maggie, we're getting a little bit of that feel, but I think this particular dynamic is definitely missing. So I think that's why viewers always respond to when we see this sort of younger version play out, whenever they sprinkle it into the episode is always nice. So yeah, March 7th, 1930 is the anniversary of Tom and Alice Horton.
And
Those were the days.
And now it's time for It's a Gift.
And this week's It's a Gift goes to Emily O'Brien. I could hug you so hard for this moment, which I will call the sarcastic prayer moment, which is me really struggling through this season of Lent.
Hilarious.
It's cute.
Emily O'Brien, you never, ever fail me in your moments.
That's a good one. That's very much like, good
sarcastic-
luck.
The sarcastic prayer. I love it.
And that was It's a Gift. And now it is time for a little bit of news and gossip.
All right, we are starting with some casting information this week. We have officially, we've talked about sort of preview this. We do have our new Lexi in the form of actress Nikki Crawford. You may know Nikki from her Tony-nominated role in Fat Ham, as well as guest star stints on Malcolm in the Middle, Pretty Little Liars, and Elsbeth. Nikki says she sees playing Lexi as an opportunity to honor what audiences have loved, bring true to Lexi is today, and create upon what Renee had previously built. So welcome Nikki Crawford as our new Lexi. Like we said, fingers crossed this is going to be an interesting, worthwhile storyline. So yeah, welcome Nikki Crawford to the Days family. Next up, we have congratulations are in store for Zach Tinker, our Sonny Kyriakis. He actually has the latest film that he is actually producing called Desert Flowers. It just started shooting here in LA. It's a comedy that stars Tyler Posey and Michaela Watkins. So big congrats to him as a producer. He isn't starring in this one, but he is producing. So big congrats to his. This movie just started filming Desert Flowers, and we'll keep you updated on distribution and when that comes out, I'm sure in the next couple of years. So
Zach, I was available.
Right. Big congrats to him. Next up, big congrats to Miss Olivia Rose Keegan. She is part of the new Scary Movie 6, whose trailer just dropped last week. Here you can see her in this picture. It's a send-up of Sinners here, and they're keeping it quiet, but you can see in the trailer she's actually is playing the daughter of Anna Faris in it. So big role for Miss Olivia Rose Keegan. This is a big get, and actually looks really funny in the trailer. So Scary Movie 6 actually comes out this June 12th of this year. So yeah, big congrats to her. It'll be a really funny one. And this one, I want to say people can stop messaging me about. I covered this already, but people, I don't know. I've never gotten so many messages about this particular casting. I was
Really?
like, I didn't realize we had so many Precious Way fans. But again, Precious Way co-stars in the new Tracy Morgan show, The Fall and Rise of Reggie Jenkins. This is opposite Tracy Morgan, Eric Alexander, and Daniel Radcliffe himself. She plays Tracy's new fiance in the comedy, which can be streamed right now on Peacock, and actually is getting really rave reviews. So I have no doubt there will be a second season, and you should go check it out. It's really funny. But yeah, Precious Way is starring as his fiance in the show. It's really funny, very reminiscent of 30 Rock. It's from Tina Fey and Robert Carlock. So yeah, if you like 30 Rock, you'll love this one. But yeah, surprisingly many messages about this casting that yes, we've covered before, but now it's released, so go check it out. And last but not least, we have another Hannah Swenson mystery. This one is called Sugar and Vice. It actually, starring Alison Sweeney and Victor Webster, our very own Sammy and Nikki Alamane from Days. This one actually premiered last night, but of course, Hallmark, it will be repeating over the weekend, and I'm sure you can catch a repeat also on the various Hallmark channels. So go check that out.
Mm-hmm. Next up, some behind the scenes days stuff we're going on. Happy birthday to Miss Mary Beth Evans, whose birthday was yesterday. We love you dearly, Mary Beth. And at our day socials, a few of our favorite Salemites played a rousing game of mystery questions, where cast members were asked random questions generated by their fellow actors. For example, condiments on hot dogs? Where do you stick your Q-tips? What are the best gifts? If you were going on a retreat, what cast members would make the invite list? To see the answers, go to @DaysPeacock on their social media channels. This week, we also say goodbye to Alice Halsey, who played Rachel Black. Her final episode actually aired on Thursday, and we got an on-screen goodbye from Carrie Christopher as Thomas. He also last aired on Tuesday in a surprise flashback. So both those actors have said goodbye to Salem, but are on to big things. Alice Halsey in particular, you can see her next in the reboot of Little House on the Prairie, airing this July. She's been working hard on this project since she left Days of Our Lives, but the trailer, I believe the teaser trailer dropped this week. Or it was behind the scenes photos of that, and you can read her statement and get behind the scenes photos on her social media at the Alice Halsey. So that is going to be big coming up on Netflix. As well as we have big baby news. Congratulations to Days alum Brandon Brash and his wife Isabella. We're expanding their family. They announced they will be expecting baby number 3, a boy, this June. So we are expanding the Brash family and look forward to seeing the first pictures of that cute little boy. Congratulations.
Yeah, in events this week, we have a Star Image event with Eric Martov and Greg Rickard. This one is happening tomorrow, March 9th. Then we have a new Day Players Band concert that's teaming up with Star Images. This one is happening, Day Players Band concert and after party, actually. So this one is happening Saturday, September 12th. This one in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Tickets and information, go to Eventbrite and, of course, search Star Image Entertainment. Those both will pop up. And then if you can't wait to catch the Day Players, starting this March, there'll be March 13th in Levittown, New York, March 14th in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and March 15th in Boston, Mass, which may actually be sold out, but go to Day Players Band to check those out. But this is sort of their East Coast leg of their tour that is happening this month. So yeah, if you do not miss the Day Players, they're always a fun show. So yeah, go check that out, thedayplayersband.com for tickets and info.
And that has been news and gossip. Now let's find out what's coming up this week on Peacock's Days of Our Lives.
Next week on Days of Our Lives.
Are you responsible for Stephanie's kidnapping? Listen, my daughter's life is on the line here, and I need your help.
To keep Abe from his dearly departed wife, Theo from his sainted mother. I'd hate for them to find out it was you who stopped this miracle from happening.
Get out of here. Well, okay. It looks like things are happening. Things are happening. Things are moving forward. Things are happening. So we are excited about that. Well, everyone, that has been Dishin Days. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. We especially want to thank Abigail Klein, who you all know as Stephanie Johnson-Kyriakis, for stopping by and spilling all the tea about the kidnapping. So thank you guys so much for that. And that's it. Before we head out, make sure you follow Michael Mattis on Instagram and X at ML Mattis and MLM Images LA. Justin Lee Hareld, where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
And Araceli, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tia323 Araceli.
And you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony, and you can find us at Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Thank you guys once again for joining us. We will be back next Sunday for another full dish of this coming week's episodes of Peacock's Days of Our Lives. Until then, have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe, and join us next Sunday once again. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Happy Sunday.